I've been a fan of Power Rangers for nearly 15 years. I've seen this show at its highest and at its lowest. More recently, I've been getting into other Tokusatsu shows, such as Kamen Rider and, for this video, Super Sentai. For the first time ever in my whole life, I have watched a whole Super Sentai series. This is my experience. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's up everybody, it's Este here. Welcome back to another video. I am so excited because today I will be giving you guys my impressions of Ninja Sentai Kakuranger. This is the first ever Super Sentai series that I've watched in full. Of course, I've seen clips and episodes of others like Go Busters, Kirigakure, Gokaiger, but I haven't really sat down and see a whole Sentai in full, and that's what I've done for you guys. Now, you may be aware of Ninja Sentai Kakuranger as they used the Megazord footage for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3, and more footage of the suits and weapons for Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. So really coming into the show, I'm coming in blind because all I've really seen from this show are Megazord fights. So let's get started, y'all. 300 likes on this video. That's right, 300 likes, and I will bring you more Super Sentai reviews. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to join the E-Squad today so you'll be notified of any future videos. And of course, check me out on Twitter, ddonfuego, and on Instagram, notdonfuego. So let's get right into it. 400 years ago, the ninja and the yokai had a great war. The legendary Sarutobi Sasuke and 4 other ninja sealed the yokai's commander and all the yokai energy away in a cave protected by a sealed door. Fast forward to the 90s, the only surviving yokai, Kappa, tricks Sasuke and Saizo, descendants of those same ninjas that sealed the yokai, into releasing the other yokai by opening the sealed door. Now these two, joined by 3 other descendants of the great ninja, become the Kakurangers to fight the yokai with the aid of the 3 god generals. Now hey, this story is actually pretty cool. However, out of nearly all 50 episodes of Kakuranger that I watched, not a lot of it has to do with the story. We can go episodes without getting a story-focused episode, so it's just filler after filler. That's what I really didn't like about the show. It's just because these filler episodes, we can focus on certain characters, but we're not necessarily learning from these characters. And they're not really growing at all. If you're watching Kakuranger, you're watching it not for the story, but for the action. And the action is great. There's well choreographed fights, simple weapons, classic ninja moves that really never gets old. Even the Kakuranger ball, which is something I really liked from the show. When it comes to the cast, this is where things really get interesting. The character with the most development in this show is Tsuruhime. Tsuruhime is the leader of the team. She's also the youngest, the most mature, and the most serious, usually getting the other guys out of trouble. And this show is really her show. It talks about her missing father. It's a real emotional train to her. However, the worst part about Tsuruhime's character is just the sexism that she faced. A lot of her fellow teammates would crush on Tsuruhime, and it's also been shown that Tsuruhime can't really work well by herself and needs her other 4 male teammates. Speaking of those teammates, we have Sasuke, which even though he's the Red Ranger, he's not the focus of the show. He's very reckless, always trying to get into battle, but he always fights for his team and never gives up, and we've seen that many times throughout this show. And Sasuke also has some of the coolest moments in the show, like the time when he used the flaming Shogun sword. The Shogun sword from the actual Mecha. That was dope. And one time where we saw all of Sasuke's mecha fight a yokai. Other than those two, we have Seikai and Saizo, which in my opinion did not really get a lot of development in the show. They're really the same person they were from the beginning. All you know about Seikai is he likes food, sleep, and women, and Saizo is just a very silly guy who panics a lot. The coolest character in the show, in my opinion, is Jiraiya. Now, Jiraiya is the only one we get a real backstory from, as he is from America and only spoke English at the time. He has a love for martial arts, but he's also a loner. He had some of the coolest focus episodes, especially when we're halfway through the show and we see a whole backstory of him fighting his old trainer. That was definitely a dope few episodes of the show. The coolest character, in my opinion, though, is Nekomaru. Nekomaru, literally their cat truck. It's literally a food truck that is a sentient being that can fly in the sky. Enough said. It's self-explanatory. Now, when it comes to the villains of the show, just like Power Rangers, they're dumb. However, Daimao, the main villain, is seen to be pretty powerful, and most of the time puts the Kakurangers in tight and hard situations. My favorite villain is Gashadokuro, the rock star prince of the yokai. He's son of Daimao. The yokai team had a lot of power. They even had their own scientist, Professor Yugami, who in the beginning of the show was a very powerful villain intellectually. They also had something really cool, the Flower Kunoichi team, which is an evil ninja ranger-like team, which was a first for Sentai, of course, evil Sentai, and they were really useful, and their fights with the Kakurangers were always very intense. All the yokai in general were either pleasing to look at, ugly, or straight up funny, especially the Dorodoros, which had their own catchy song and dance at the end of every episode. It's a mix of everything in the show, and that's really what I liked about it. When it comes to the mecha, I really like how they presented them. The main mecha combinations, which are the Muteki Shogun, the Kakure Daishogun, and the Zord Tsubasumaru, are called the three god generals, who were a trio of human sages who led humanity in a war against Daimao back in the old days. Now, even though this clearly was a way so we can have all the mecha on the screen at once, it was still confusing sometimes, as these mecha great god generals would only talk when they want to, when the story presented itself. As soon as the Kakurangers got their ninja beasts in the show, which are the Ninja Zords here in America, they never used their giant beast generals to form the Muteki Shogun after that point. It would always be that god general. And that's what kind of sucks. I mean, like, you guys have these cool new Zords, but you had these old ones too, which looked pretty fire. Why didn't you go use those? There were also Jusho fighters, which were embodiments of the Kakurangers' power, which was a super cool idea, but overall very underused. Overall, the show had hella cool aspects in the show, which makes it super awesome, super intense, super funny, and just a really awesome show to look at. But there was also some elements that were straight up confusing or just bad. Ninjaman, why? Why does he exist? He's not really even part of the main team. He's never even there half the time. He's only needed for action and comedy, and he is simply an afterthought for most episodes, and sadly, underused. Also, Samurai Man? What was that? This is a ninja show, and I hate the fact that in this show, all the yokais call him a novice, which makes him mad and turn him into Samurai Man. But the thing is that this gets old and annoying very quickly, and it's just the gimmick at this point. Is it supposed to make us laugh? I have no idea. There was also Sandaiyu, a legendary ninja master, quote unquote, with unlimited magical powers who instructs the Kakurangers on their abilities. In my opinion, he was useless in the show, only showing up when he needs to be, like a tutorial for our heroes. There was also the announcer, which I loved. Don't get me wrong, I love the announcer of the show, but when it comes to Kakuranger, there was 3 acts, right? Where Act 1 is all silly and stuff, you know, yokai disguising as humans. But Act 2 is when stuff really start to turn up. And the announcer in Act 1 would explain the origin of each yokai, giving commentary and also interacting with the story. He sadly, however, stopped appearing after the first act of the show. Besides one comedic documentary episode later on, which I really liked. That was really one of my favorite episodes of the show. However, I feel like the announcer still could have fit in the show with more serious plot lines if they tried. But they didn't, so whatever. Also, the shark cycles, right? They're the team's motorcycles. They rarely use them. They're cool to look at, right? Because they can form a cannon. However, this was at the risk of not all Rangers getting a cycle, especially Tsuruhime. Power Rangers, in my opinion, did this much better as each Ranger had their own cycle. Besides all that, I didn't really care for the characters of Bun, Taro, and Jiro, albeit there was a lot of emotional moments with those characters, but those times were kind of boring, more boring than emotional, basically is what I'm trying to say here. But Kakuranger is not about the story, it's about the fun. From start to end, from the amazing intro song at the beginning to the very last Dororo dance, from the laughs, the tears, and all the smiles along the way, Kakuranger is an overall very fun show to watch and can be easily recommended to any fan of Tokusatsu. It is streaming now for free, ladies and gentlemen, on Tubi, and you can also watch it on Tokusatsu. To be honest with you guys, if you guys don't care about story and just care about having fun, which is something that I did while watching Kakuranger, just go watch Kakuranger. Ninja Sentai Kakuranger, an amazing show, and I can't wait to watch more Super Sentai shows after this. I'm actually going to watch Dairanger next, so if you want to see a review of Dairanger when I'm done watching it, leave a comment down below and leave a like on this video. Anyways, that's it. Have you watched Kakuranger? What do you guys think? Do you guys think Mighty Morphin Season 3 or Alien Rangers did a better job at Kakuranger than Kakuranger? Yeah, something like that. Regardless, that's it for today's video, guys. I really appreciate all the support and all the love. E-Squad forever. We're on our way to 50K, so leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I'm Este, the Don Fuego, and not Don Fuego. Have a great day, and of course, and as always, stay awesome, everybody.